Good morning. How are you guys today? Deb is here from Glendale. Are you awake, Deb? I know this is very early for you. Um, oh, Carla's getting caught up. The circles between the lines last night was fun. I think that was the best way to describe last night. Those of you who were here, I think we just had fun last night. I love those days. And good morning, Linda, my friend. Oh, dentist appointment. Ooh. I don't, why does everybody hate the dentist so much? Probably because it's never fun. Isn't that the truth? Linda, my Michigander buddy, is here, and I'm so happy to see you. Okay. Oh, 4 appointments this week, Linda. That's gonna keep you so busy. Oh, so busy. Deanna's here. Good morning, Deanna. And Linda has made it in from Brisbane. The threaded lady, Joyce. Good morning from Mesa. And Kathy is here from Long Island. Debbie's not awake, but she does have one eye open. Awesome. Oh, Linda, I want your dentist. They call him the painless dentist. How in the world did you get so lucky? I guess I need to move. Oh, yeah, yeah, they do cost a lot, Carla. Dentists are expensive, and most of us don't have dental insurance. There's a good reason for that. That's because they cost so much money. So what we're going to do today is we're going to play with the Spin-e-Fex 10. Okay. I've got the Spin-e-Fex 10 out, but I have a couple other templates out that I want to talk about um, in correlation. Yeah, in correlation to the Spin-e-Fex 10. No, I don't do this often, but I do think that with the Spinifex 10, it's a good idea to take a look at the different sizes and just see how different they are. The Spinifex 10, let's just go over it a little bit first. Make sure you're in view here. Okay, there we go. The Spinifex 10, when you first look at it, you look at the package, you think that it's symmetrical, that it's, the same on the top as it is the bottom, but it's not quite symmetrical. And here is the difference. The bottom tapers in a lot more than the top does. What this tells me is the Spinifex 10 would make a really awesome leaf. It's a great leaf shape. And this is the smallest one at 3.5. And I just realized you guys were seeing me in the reflection of the temple, and I don't want anybody seeing me this early in the morning. It's never a good thing. So let's go ahead. I'm going to make an adjustment here. Good morning, Wanda. You are up early. That's not like you. Hope you slept good last night. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this in. And by next week, I will have my 301 back. Somebody made a comment last night about the 301 being so much easier to see. And you're absolutely right because of that high throat area. Lisa's here from Sugarland. Good morning. And Rita, good evening. She's here from Northern Victoria, Australia, where they are coming into their winter months as we are coming into our summer months. And we finally are going to get some warm weather here. We've gone from one extreme to the other. Did you see, Wanda? It's going to be in the 90s next week. Wow. Our furnace is still running this week. Oh, goodness. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the very smallest one. I'm not gonna do all the templates, but I am gonna do a few of them. And the reason that I wanna do a few of them is because I wanna show you some ideas I had with them. It's a curve, so I'm gonna take it with smaller stitches. Got a little bit of a point at the top here, so I'm going to make sure I get that extra stitch in. And we're gonna come back down to the bottom. And what I'm going to do, I'm not gonna keep breaking thread on this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take the gate off. And you guys, if you were here last night, you saw me do this about 10,000 times with those, we were taking the gates off to do little tiny half-inch and quarter-inch circles, and we were doing a lot of them. I gotta be honest with you. If I don't see a circle for a while, it'll be fine. Now, what you could do if you wanna travel across a straight line here, what we can do is we can go ahead and take the edge of our ruler. We don't need to pull another one out, but if it's handy, that's good too. And I'm going to go ahead, use my spacing gauge. Oh, I kind of got snarled up there for a second. There we go. And we're gonna come over this way. I'm gonna stop right about there. Don't need a whole lot of room because I am going to go ahead with the 5.5 inch on this one. Take out those gates. Those of you who are new to the ruler quilting, you don't have gates, you have needle channels. And I am jealous, okay? Just so you know it. Yes, I covet your needle channels. I know, I know it's a commandment, but what can I say? All right, and we're gonna go ahead and do this one right side up. And what really amazes me is how quickly the sizes seem to get so much larger. Wanda, how do you like this stitch speed for me? Wanda's used to me stitching slow because I tend to be a slow stitcher. But I'm going to try and speed up just a little bit this morning because I really have quite a few things that I want to cover with the Spinifex 10 because my brain was just reeling with all the fun different things we can do with this template. Okay, and off we go. Want to get down far enough. This one, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to skip the 7.5 inch. Where am I setting them? There we go. And I'm going to go directly to the 9.5 inch. They really do. This is the one template. I want to say this right. This is the one template that the size variation is so clear on it as far as how big we're getting. Oh my goodness, look at there. I got a way to go, don't I? Oh, guess what? I just dropped my spacing gauge. Surprise. I'm gonna go ahead and stitch out. I'm just gonna go ahead and freehand it. There we go. Okay. And this is going to be our 9.5. Off we go. Hesitate. And that's all the hesitation you need. We don't have to sit there for a while. Actually, if we do, what's going to happen is we're going to get a little ball of thread on the back side. And with ruler stitching and template stitching, we just don't want to do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to move on if you would like. with the same template. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to stop right there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make another one. Okay. The only difference is I'm not going to do this side of it because what I'm actually going to do is show you how to turn a corner if you're doing half of the template on a border. And there we go. And then we would go ahead and keep moving it up. All right. That's just one little thing I just kind of wanted to throw in there for you. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this and cut this. Okay. So here's our 3.5, 5.5, 9.5. And they really do move up fast in size, don't they? Okay, let's see who else has come in. I love this. Debbie said she's loving the Spin-e-Fex sessions. She said, I'm slowly completing my collection. And Deb, that's the best way to do it. Get a collection, play with it a while, move on and get the next one. Definitely way to do it. Plus, if you do it during my lives, you get a 20% discount. You can't beat a discount, right? Well, you can, but you can't beat it with a stick. Dinah's here. Oh, Mary Lou, you're here. You've come in. You're driving home, soon to be in Western New York. Mary Lou, I don't know if you're aware, my husband was born in Lackawanna. He's from the Buffalo area. Okay, yeah, as a matter of fact, some of his family is still back there. I think his brother's was in West Seneca. I'm not sure where he's at now. And his niece is over in Cheektowaga. And are those are Indian names, different tribal names. There were a lot of them around Western New York. Donna, hello, my friend from North Carolina. Wanda said, yeah, 90 is too hot and her furnace is still running. And isn't that the truth? And it looks like Sarah says, hi, Mama. So my daughter is here. Welcome, Sarah. Why aren't you at work? Okay, never mind. You can answer that later. Chris, good morning. Nice to see you so bright and early, even though I can't see you guys. I know you're here. That makes the world of difference. And Mary Lou lives in Fredonia. That is an awesome place. It is. Patsy's here from Southwest Ohio. And I think Patsy comes in just so that I can sing to her. Okay, granted, guys. Okay, my singing voice probably is shattering coffee cups right now. Oh, well, we try. Okay, some of the fun things. One of the things I pulled out is, of course, one of my almost favoriteest templates here, my Spin-e-Fex curly cues. And look at my bag of Spin-e-Fex curly cues. They are such a mess. They really are. But you know what? I have tried to keep them orderly. And what happens is I use them, they get messy. It takes me forever to get them orderly again. And I figure I could be using that time for sewing. So we'll just leave them in disarray, okay? And you know what? 5.5. I'm going to go a little larger on this one. I'm just going to dump them on my table until I find the one that I want. Okay. Oh, good grief. 8.5. I want the 7.5, and it's the only one that seems to be eluding me at the moment. Okay. Come on, you. 6.5, 8.5. What size is this? 5.5. Okay, we're going to go with 6.5 only because I don't seem to be able to come up with 7.5. There it is. Okay, now let's see if that's going to fit. Perfect. It's going to fit perfect. So what I'm going to do in here, after I get that little guy out, and I'm going to do it this way so you guys can see it well. Okay. Pull that bobbin thread up. And I did put a fresh bobbin in this morning because I know Janice is watching over me here, making sure that I do. Okay. And it's going to go straight up. Now, I can go ahead and I can draw a center line in here. But quite honestly, I really don't have to. And the reason that I don't have to is because the center line here on the, you know what I'm trying to say, on the center line on the template is close enough to where our peak is that we're going to be fine. Now, one other thing I want to mention, Spin-e-Fex. Okay, we talk about symmetrical and asymmetrical templates. The Spin-e-Fex is really neither, but we definitely want stable tape on both sides. In just a second here, you're going to see one reason why. Okay, we are going to flip these templates, the Spin-e-Fex, the curly cues over and over and over again. Okay, I'm going to stop right at the highest point, and I'm going to stop with my needle down. I'm going to take my template out. Isn't that a beautiful arc? I absolutely love Spin-e-Fex templates. Absolutely love them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to put it back on. I'm lining up the center line with the center point on my stitch out, and the center line here I'm also going to line up. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish this. And we're going to come down and we're going to stop at the bottom again. Okay, now, isn't that gorgeous? I am just loving this, but I'm not done yet. Okay, you should know I'm not done yet. And now what I'm looking for is my 5.5, and here it is. I'm going to take my 5.5 and I'm going to put it on and I'm going to twist it. I'm going to go to the outside. I'm going to twist it so that the outside of my curly Q is template is touching the outside of my stitched out Spin-e-Fex 10. Take my stitch in place. Now this time I'm going to come out. We have two options. I'm going to show you one on this side and one on the other side. And one option that we have is to go ahead and make our full curly Q and then come back to center, which is probably the option I would take because I love these guys to pieces. Okay, and there we've got it. Isn't that pretty? Hi, Kathy. Good morning. Oh, watching from her sewing room. Yay, Kathy. I hope I'm able to give you some inspiration. That's what my goal is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this to the same direction that I had it on the right side. But on the left side, I'm going to do something just a little bit different. I'm going to come around and I'm going to stop at the top. Now this is gonna be just like I did on my center one. I'm going to turn it around so you can see, and I'm going to turn my template. Easy to line up. You see this point? We want that lined up with the center line. We want to make sure that our needle is lined up with the center line on top. It's really, play with it for a second if you have to. It's okay. We're not running a race here. We're just going to do this nice and easy. Okay, now we're going to come back down. Now we have a choice here, and I'm going to stop right here. I'm not going to go ahead and cross over that first design that I made. The reason that I'm not going to do that is because I want this design to appear as though it's coming from behind. So let me go ahead and take this off, and I'm going to cut it. And what you're going to see is that this design does indeed look like it's coming from behind the center design. Isn't that cool? I love it. We're giving dimension to our designs. And that's what I really love about the Spinifex, especially because we have so much opportunity for dimension. And, I guess maybe it's just the artistic part of me that wants to make things different. Hence, I married Ken. He makes my life different. Seriously, though, I mean, this is just so many little special things we can do. Can we go all the way around and do 4 reference lines with this? Yes, absolutely. Can we do 8? We can. Honestly, I don't think I would because there's too much crossover on an 8-point rotation, okay? So for a 4-point rotation or even for just kind of think of this as a design around the bottom of a skirt or an apron or even around a table cover. It would just add so much to it. We can take our Inktense pencils and we can get in there and do some drawing, and man alive, these would just come alive for us. They really would. Okay. Make sure that, yep. Okay, make sure we don't have any new comments there. And I'm going to go ahead and move these guys down. Now, what I did here was a little bit of yeah, just a little bit of a border. We can use our curly cues in that too. And the way that we can use them is we can use them as though they're coming up into the border. And I'm just going to show you one because this is something you guys play with these. Get some cheap fabric, play with them because this is how you're going to. Ah, I don't believe I just cut my thread. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, good, I got it. Yay. Didn't have to break out the little tweezers. There we go. Okay. The one thing I love about this machine is that it has either the electronic, foot function or I can do it by hand. And what happens is I get so used to working on the 301 that my hand sometimes just automatically goes back there and tries to pull up the foot. So it's kind of nice that I have those options. The one thing I'm not crazy about is I know you guys can't see as well, and quite honestly, neither can I when I'm working on it with the camera in front of me. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and just twist this. And I'm gonna basically do the same thing I did on the center line, but on the outside ones, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to put the edge of my foot on the outside or the stitched edge of the spinifex. I'm gonna come all the way in, do my twist, come back out. Now this time I have my curly Q facing in. We can change that up anytime we want. Now this is my 5.5, so I'm looking for my 7.5, and there it is. Oops. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm only going to do half. I'm only going to do half of this. So I'm literally lining it up. Oops, right here. I'm lining it up. I'm going to go out into the border. If you don't want to go out into the border, and you may not, this may be a seam with a different border. My suggestion, okay? And remember, this is just my suggestion. This is not a law. The quilt police are not going to come and get you if you do this. Okay, don't do this. Is I'm going to go ahead and pull my needle up. I'm going to pull my foot up. I am going to make sure that I do not disturb this template. I'm going to come up here, put my foot back down, and I'm just going to adjust the needle position until I get right in that seam line. And again, I'm going to pull. I am going to pull that bobbin thread up after I get it out of there. Oh, you know what, guys? I didn't clip it off. That's why. So there we go. Well, hello. Okay. You won't be as blonde as me. You'll make sure you clip it off. There we go. And I'm gonna come back down, holding my threads back, put my foot back down. I'm gonna make sure that I get my needle right back in that hole. Right there. Needle down. So what I'm gonna do here is I am going to pull up that design. Let's stop right here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna try not to move anything. Okay, so what we've got is we've got this half right now. But what we want to get is we want to get, I'm gonna go ahead and take it out and clip all these threads off. Get rid of them. So what we've got is we've got this upper half. The lower half goes when it's going to show up when the template is flipped. So we do have to stop, flip our template, line it back up, which is easy to do, especially with this one, because we're going to have, this is um, our seam allowance or our seam, and this is, you can see where the halfway mark is. Now, because this is a seam, pretend, okay, let's pretend. What we can do is we can go ahead and we can just start stitching in the ditch. We're going to want to move that template out of the way just till we get down to where we need to be. We're going to stop when that needle gets on that first stitch of the first rotation. And there it is. Now I'm going to place my template and I'm going to make sure, whoops, that I can get it round, nice and lined up. There we go. Perfect. Perfectly lined up. And now we're going to come back up and back to our center. And I didn't do it exactly perfect, but you can see what I did was I was able to adjust in here. And now it's going to be just fine. Now, if this was a real project, this would not show. So let's just go ahead and cut that out because it won't take but a second to cut it out. And it's going to give you a much clearer idea of what exactly we're able to do here. I always want you to have the best vantage point of being able to see not just how I'm stitching, but the outcome too. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go a couple more. You know, if I would break down and pull my seam around, this would be a lot easier. Oh, and you guys wouldn't have to wait for me, but you get the idea, okay? I won't go ahead and waste our time by well, maybe I will pull it all out because now it's coming out easily. There we go. Okay, so that is what it's going to look like if we do this design in half. And we can do this along a border and just keep going. What do you think? We're making some progress here this morning, guys. We've got curly cues and we've got Spin-e-Fex 10, two of my favorites. And the Spin-e-Fex 10 is one of my favorites because there is so many different things that we can do with it. Joey is here. Di is here. Good morning, guys. Okay, the question is, will the code apply to the curly cues too? It's not working yet on the Spin-e-Fex. Chances are, Linda, it will not work with the curly cues because I did not let So Steady know that I was going to be using them this morning. I can try and see if Stacy will add those on or not. And I will definitely let her know that the coupon code is not working yet. Okay. Dave made it in. Dave in YJ. And Dave in YJ, Yeehaw Junction, Florida. Donna asked, what does YJ stand for? And it stands for Yeehaw Junction. And I don't know if that's a real place or not, but it sounds good. Oh, anyway, gotta go, Linda. Have a good morning, okay, my friend, and we will see you soon, I hope. Okay, so that's my spiel with the curly cues, simply because I absolutely love them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little guy here. Now this is our 5.5. This is our 3.5. And then I am going to take out our minis. Normally I don't do this many alternative templates with the one I'm working on, simply because I don't know. I just don't. And I have no reason, no excuse. So what I've got is I've got my 1.5 and I've got my 2.5. What I want to do is, and now again, I have not tried this yet, so I don't know if this is going to work or not. I like that you guys can see how to play with these off the cuff because I want you to do that as well. This is really how designs are born, and hopefully we'll get the bobbin thread born as soon as I as soon as I snip it off. I had this happen to me one other time where I just consistently forgot to cut my bobbin thread, and I think it was a morning one too. I just I'll tell you, some days you wonder why you're getting out of bed, right? Okay, so down we're gonna go. Now, the reason that I'm trying this in the smaller ones is for one reason, it would just totally get lost over here in this big one. Okay. Okay, Deb, I don't put the link up. Oh, I'm sorry, the link. Yes, let me put the link up. Thank you for reminding me, Deb. Um, oh, okay, curly cues. And there we go. I'm grabbing it now. Yeah. Always got to hit it twice. Copy that and go over here. Okay, almost there, guys. Almost got it. Just takes a second. Okay, there we go. We got it. And here is the link for the curly cues. Thanks, Deb. I'm glad you remind me because sometimes I just get so wrapped up in what I am doing. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the link here for the Spinifex 10 again. And you know what? For the first time in a very, very long time, it looks, I'm not going to say it. No, it didn't. I was going to say it looks like it's working in Facebook, but of course it comes back and it is not. And I don't know how to fix that, guys. I'm so sorry. I've tried everything that I can think of. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our 1.5 mini inside of our 3.5. Whoops, then I'm going to come over and I'm going to flip sides and I'm going to put the 2.5 in. Now, my thought process for this is template fuse. These are going to be very small areas or template these areas. But oh my gosh, can you imagine how gorgeous they would look? Okay, there we go. They go quickly. They're easy to do with this template. And it's one of the few templates that will just continually keep building if you wanted to. Okay. So, I mean, you could do this all the way out to the 11.5 inch if you wanted to, and it would look so cool. So, I just wanted to quickly show you that. And now let's go ahead and get on to, whoops. Okay, can anybody guess what happened when I said oops? Oh, Joyce is kneading cinnamon rolls. Oh my goodness. She's making the real homemade kind, guys. Joyce, are you inviting us over? Remember, you're not supposed to talk about food unless you have enough for everybody. Oh, yeah. Mom always told me, do not go outside with that unless you have enough for everybody. And when she said everybody, she meant the entire neighborhood because growing up, our neighborhood was full of children. And you know what? It led for an absolutely awesome growing up. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, what I want to do next is I want to do a mitered corner. And I want to do that corner. I want to show you how I'm going to mark it. Oops. Oh, goodness. What time is it? Okay. This is a 2-inch border. So I'm going to come in and I am going to, this is how I do my real quilts, guys. When I'm putting a border on, I go in and I put a dashed line on the center of the border. It delineates clearly for me what the center is as opposed to the border parameters. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use the 5.5. And I'm going to do it from the corner out. What's going to happen if we run short on the halfway mark here? So for example, I come in here, do this one, come in here and only have this amount. It's going to be easy for me to come, and this would be my center. I would always do a center line here. And I may do one of two things. I may just end it here. And let me get my stitching line discs because this isn't going to look right if I just go around. Just going around the template isn't going to be real good. Okay, so we're going to pretend this is my center and I'm coming here. What I would do is go ahead and move my little arrow and put it here. Then I would turn my template around, line up my center line up my arrow, and then I would go ahead and continue in this manner. And you see how this lines up perfectly at the center. The other thing that's cool about it is it gives us another shape to move with. Isn't that neat? I absolutely love doing it this way. Okay. Joyce. Joyce is the perfect person. She grinds her own wheat and makes bread the same way. So, okay. Carla said that would make a great flame in a candle. You know what, Carla? You're absolutely right. It certainly would. But this really, and then if you wanted to, you could embellish this. Now, the other thing you could do is just stop at this point and put a whole nother motif in there. Hi, Lee. Good to see you. She made it. Now, Dave asked, is there an afternoon live? Dave, what we do is if you go, this is going to give you all of the events that are happening. Go to sewstay.com and there is an events tab. And when you click on the events tab, the calendar is going to come up for you. And this afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m., and I'm not sure which time zone that is. Pacific time. So that's 1 p.m. Pacific time. Mel will be doing Jump into Spring Applique project. Okay. So she is going to do that this afternoon at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. or 1 p.m. Pacific Time. I'm sorry. 1 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Central, and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so that is the other live that's on on deck for today. Okay. Oh, it took me a minute to find that word. All right. So anyway, that is two of the things that we can do. So if I'm going to turn, what I want to do is I want this to me is more important. If I'm turning a corner, it's more important to have the turn worked out than it is to have the center worked out. Because the turn is always going to be more difficult to work out, just the nature of the beast. You have a 90-degree turn here, okay? And learning, whoops, 90 degrees here. Learning angles really helps in template stitching. It really does. So what I would do is I would go ahead and you can put your template either way you want. Yeah, you can see here, I just used half of it and came around the corner. And this time I'm going to use all of it. We're going to pretend I've already done this side. Come right here, put my needle down, pull my thread up. There we go. And put down and needle down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to finish this particular pretend border. I'll make sure I've got that needle in the right place. I'm not sure if I do. Oh, yeah, I guess I do. Okay, so I'm going to come and do my rotation here. Hesitate or stop with your needle down. Either way will give you that nice sharp point. That is so important. There we go. Now, all I need to do is turn it. The nice thing about this particular template is we're not going to run over these stitches. Okay, so I'm going to go in this direction, but I'm only going to go to the center and then I'm going to stop because I want to give you another option for a border. Now I'm going to turn my template around and I'm only going to go on the bottom half. And I'm going to stop. And I'm going to turn it again. And I'm going to follow this all the way along. And I'm going to stop. Now, what you can do with this, if you want, actually, let me do that. Okay. What you can do with this, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That would make a beautiful spine for feathers in your border. Okay. Just gorgeous. Or just leave it like that. Or leave it like that and put a big circle in here. That would work as well. Or even attach the circle to the lowest and highest part. So there is a lot of different things that we can do to embellish. And that is one of my favorite parts of the Spinifex 10. The template itself is versatile, and it is so versatile in combination with other templates that it really, really makes this template very special. Okay, let's see where we're at. Okay, Lee says, with life being so hectic here lately, I'm so appreciative that I can watch everything in replays. Thank you, Lee, and I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I was talking to a friend last night, and I told her that I do try and watch my own replays so that I can do the live broadcasts better for you. Watching replays allows us to see things we missed the first time, especially when I look at how you all have become friends and the speaking to one another through chatting with one another while we're doing this. It warms my heart. It really does. I think that is so awesome. Hi, Jean. You know what? Di says it also looks like a back-to-back template, and it does. But Di, if you didn't have the back-to-back template, how awesome that this would come in and take place of that until you were able to purchase the back-to-back, right? It just is really, really an awesome set, and I love them. So we're going to go ahead and put this piece of fabric away now. And we're going to take out another one. Now this is going to be for, Lisa says she thinks she needs these. She loves the look of on the border. And Lisa, these are great border templates. They really are. So I've got an 8-point crosshair or 8 reference lines here. And this is going to be a review for some of you, and it's going to be new for some of you. But I think it's an important design element to look at because this is what we do most often. We don't, as a rule, often do borders and static designs. So gonna get a little bit of caffeine in me here because I've been talking a lot this morning. I am going to use my 7.5 inch for part of this. Oh, I just dropped, oh, a stitching line disc. I didn't put it away like a good girl. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my bobbin thread up. I hope. There we go. It's little, but I got it. Oh boy. Newfangled machines, huh? And my needle down. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you is just a regular rotation for our 8 reference lines. And this would be our reference line 1. Hesitate at the top. This is a very gentle curve. It's a very gentle inside curve. And at the fear of repeating myself one too many times, don't push against that template with your foot and don't push against the foot with the template. That is where we can run into some real issues and end up all over the place. And I speak from experience, okay? Most every error that I caution you against, I have made at least one time, if not more. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the other side, and this is going to be reference line number 5. I would any day, I would purchase this set for a beginning ruler or template quilter. This is a great template to learn on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to reference line 3. Nice and easy. Hesitate, and off we go. Now I'm going to reference line 7. Back to center. Okay, just going to take the gate off here and I'm going to open this up so you guys can see just exactly how 4 reference lines looks on this. It is, I don't know how to explain it. It's simple and it's elegant and it's just plain pretty. And if you have a beautiful fabric that you could template this out, it would be stunning. Okay, Donna says, how wide does that stitch out in the center? It looks wide enough to fit a mini set in there in the center widest part. Absolutely. Now, if you're talking about, Donna, if you're talking about here, we showed on here on this one. Let me get that over here. This is the mini. This is the 1.5, 2.5, and this is our 3.5-inch Spin-e-Fex 10. This one would fit because this is a 7.5-inch. You could put a 5.5, a 3.5, a 2.5, and a 1.5 in here, and they're going to all gradually come out. And what's really nice about them, because they're all the same shape, they're all going to start in the same place, and they're not going to come to the outside, and they're not going to come to the inside. They're going to start coming up right on the same lines, and then each one will take off according to its size. Does that answer the question that you're asking, Donna? I want to be sure I've got it right. Yes. Would the sets we ordered today have the needle slot instead of the gate? Yes, they would. And my husband will not let me order them again. Poor Ken. He sees packages coming to this house way too often. And the funny part about it is he will ask me what's inside of them, and I just kind of go, I don't know. We have to open it. to find out. Oh, okay. So I'm in a spin-e-fex designed to make a look. Oh yeah, Donna, that can be done. I will try to get to that, okay? Kathy, I love it. She says she needs a set now, not later. She's inspired. Oh, Kathy, I'm so happy you are. This is so much fun for me. I love inspiring people. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're not gonna go ahead and put 8 in because I just looked at the time. But what I am gonna do is I am gonna show you how to make a little embellishment, and then we're going to use the mini spin effects to put a little flower in there for Donna, okay? So one of the things, and you've seen me do this 100 times, guys. I know you have, but it is just so lovely. And with this particular spin effects, we can make a really cool crosshair up on top. So I'm going to twist that template until the template touches the line of stitching. We're going to come all the way up. We're going to touch the opposite side of the template right there. And I did that by slowing down. Now we're going to come back to the center. And there we go. Wait till it stops. It's real important to wait till that needle is seated down there. I'm going to again twist. Well, I'm going to do this a couple of times just because we've got a time constraint here. Come all the way to the other side and come back. Now, this looks nice just like this, and you certainly could leave it like this. However, you can go ahead and do it in the other direction as well. And what's going to happen at the top is we're going to get some cross hatching going on up there. Slow it down when you get close. You don't want to run outside of that template. And we're going to do one more. And again, twisting my template. I want to make sure that this is touching. And back to center. Now, could we embellish it more? Oh, yeah, we could. We could put a curly Q here. We could just come up straight. We could put a little strand of pearls in here, little 1/4 inch circles. There's it's just it goes on forever. Some days I feel like my brain's gonna explode. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and this is for Donna, I'm going to go ahead and get a crosshair ruler out here, a small one. I don't have my minis real handy. Actually, I'm going to just use this because I don't have my mini crosshair rulers out. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to say this looks like, yeah, that looks like the widest part of the design. Obviously, I would take a lot more time and do a lot more measuring. And I'm going to make a crosshair here. The next thing I'm going to do, and this is probably a good lesson in and of itself, is I'm going to take my 45-degree line on my ruler, and I'm going to just go ahead and make a little bit of a line there. And then I'm going to draw it out. And I'm going to take it on this side. And repeat it. This is not the way I would recommend doing them all. I would use my mini crosshair if this were a real project, okay? Just so you guys know. There we go. Okay, so let me get my minis out again. And the 2.5 is going to be too big, but the 1.5 will work just fine. I need to get up to that line now. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I want to do it the way that I would do it on a project. There we go. Oops. Yikes, I didn't get right in the center. Okay, there we go. This time I did. Needle down. Okay, so what we're going to do, remember when we're working on these really small templates, I'm going to still take my one stitch in place. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to really make sure I've got a small stitch line. And the reason being twofold. One is I want those petals to be nice and smooth. And the only way we can do that is if we get our stitches nice and small. Okay, there we go. Oh, go ahead and take those threads out because believe it or not, those little two threads really can make things crazy looking. Now, Donna, if you wanted to, you can make this flower up closer to the top. I just chose to put it in the middle. There we go. Because that's where I was. Okay. I don't know why I'm skipping over like that. I guess my foot is down kind of low. There we go. And we're going to do a couple more. New one here. And we've got 2 more to go. And we will have this design stitched out. And there we go. And this will be our last rotation. Up we go. Now, there we go. Now we've got a flower inside of our rotation. We've got a couple different ways that we can embellish our Spin-e-Fex 10. What do you think? You guys like it? Oh, good morning, Nilda. How are you? Okay, question about the lines. Carla asks, how far apart do the lines how far apart to do the lines before or after the circles? This is from last night, isn't it? It took me a second to figure that out. You know, you can do the lines touching the circles if you want. You can do them an eighth of an inch, a quarter of an inch. You can get out as far as you want with it. Carla, it's totally up to you. What I would do, Carla, is I would get a paper and pencil, not a pen, a pencil, and I would go ahead and make a line of circles, and then I would start drawing them at a certain, I would start, say, at an eighth of an inch, see how I like that. You go ahead and erase the line, put it at a quarter of an inch. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to have to draw those circles over and over and over again. They're very time consuming. And if you're like me, time is kind of at a priority this time of year for us up in the upper Midwest because we finally, or just this week, have gotten over the fear of frost. So we're anxiously and hurriedly trying to get plants in the ground because we'd really like to see them bloom before the frost hits in the fall. Okay, we have a very short growing season. We'd love to get some tomatoes off of our plants if we're able to. Uh, so that is how I would do it, Carla. Um, does that help? Does that answer the question that you asked? I guess I want to make sure. Okay. Deanna also asked one, which okay. That would look good in the center border where you have the half and half. Oh, yeah, it does make sense, Deanna, and I get it. I really do. And yes, it would look really nice there. Ronnie loves the miniature flower, and so do I. I think it's cute. I think it's adorable. You could use your Inktense pencils and color it in. I really, really want to do another Inktense project. There just aren't enough hours in the day to do everything I want to do. Lisa says she's about to quilt a project and will be using an Art Deco design. She can see the first design working so well with that. And you're absolutely right, Lisa. And that's kind of what I like is you can get the type of thing you're looking for, whether it be modern, Art Deco, shabby chic. There's so many different ways that you can take and make these your own to fit the decor that you're doing them for. And I totally get it. I do. Okay, Carla, good. I'm glad I was able to answer it. You know, guys, I could go on for another hour with ideas here. I really can. But don't forget now, on Tuesday nights, I'm taking the alphabet forward. So you're going to see me do these templates again on Tuesday evenings. And my goal is to not repeat designs. There will be some, and when I say that, I'm gonna clarify it because there will be some designs that will be repeated because they're standbys. They're solid standby designs, but I won't be spending a lot of time on them. But things like this will likely not be repeated. Okay, I'll probably come up with something a little different than this. So I want you to make sure that you know that we're always striving to bring new things to you. 'Cause that's what I enjoy doing, and it's a lot of fun. Honey, you're welcome, and thank you, Deb, for your kind words. I wanna thank you guys for spending part of your morning with me. The fact that you take time out to spend with me tells me a whole lot, and I want you to know how much it is appreciated. Watching you, becoming friends with you, it has just been it is such a joy. Joyce says, "Be sure to hit the thumbs up button." Thank you, Joyce. That is so important. Linda, thank you. She said she loves watching me. To be honest with you, I don't like watching myself, but that's just me, right? Anyway, if you're on Facebook, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, hit that button so that you're notified when we come on next. And next will be next week, Monday night. I will be doing the Starry Night 6 Edge to Edge designs. And for those of you who aren't aware, I will be doing every other Monday night. I will be doing in June the 2nd, the 16th, and the 30th. So, on the 9th and the 23rd, and I think I don't know exactly what time it is. I think it might be 1 o'clock Pacific time. Donnell will be doing a live broadcast. And then on Tuesdays, I will be here every Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. and every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. And we're going to continue working with our Spin-e-Fex templates. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. It means a whole lot to me that you take time out of your day. And until we meet again, let's quilt.